Stop letting chaos ruin your life. Ever wonder why things feel out of balance no matter how hard you try? Well, I'm going to show you how to fix that by changing the one thing that you actually have control over. This is Ace Anderson Live. Let's dive in. Yo, what's up, family? Good morning to all you brilliant, blessed, beautiful, abundant beings. Welcome back to yet another present moment. This is Ace Anderson Live, where we connect every single week to provide you with weekly inspirational and entrepreneurial tips and tricks to help you ace your life. Yesterday was Veterans Day, so I decided to take the day off after a very long weekend. I had a bachizado for my capoeira. I just went to the next level, which is really awesome. And also, my wife and I got to perform music at a wedding, which was really beautiful. We got to perform a lot of our original songs. But anyhow, this is the Ace Anderson show where we share inspirational entrepreneurial tips and tricks to help you ace your life. So I wanted to congratulate yourself for making it to another beautiful dawn with me, your dedicated guide on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you don't know by now, I am an actor, a rapper, a filmmaker, a poet, the ace of all trades, the modern Renaissance man, Ace Anderson, and I am so happy to be here with you all for another blessed week. Now, as we embrace this first light together, I want to extend a special shout out to all you early risers joining in live. Your dedication to starting the day with intention and positivity is what makes the A Team extraordinary. So, I want you to grab your favorite morning brew. Y'all know I like to drink alkaline water. And let us explore, illuminate, and inspire ourselves to be better with mindful conversation. Now, today's topic, I think we all need to hear, truly. I mean, is there really a topic that I talk about that we don't need to hear? I'm not sure. We'll get back to you on that one. But for sure today, this topic holds the key to creating a balanced and fulfilling life. Now, as that is as above, so below, or as within, so without. Understanding the true meaning behind the phrase on earth as it is in heaven. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So as we embark on this week's adventure, let us remember to align ourselves, our hearts with the fruit of the Spirit. Y'all know that's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Let us trust these divine nine to guide us on the path to living a life that resonates deeply with our most authentic desires. So, without further ado, let's get into it. On earth as it is in heaven. One of the most powerful passages in Scripture is the Lord's Prayer, mainly because this prayer is a blueprint for living a life aligned with divine purpose. And here's the passage from the King James Version, Matthew 6, Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 through 13. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now this phrase, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. This reflects the idea of aligning earthly life with divine life as well. Earthly life with divine will, seeking harmony between the spiritual and physical realms. Now, think about what this means, right? We're asking God's will to be done right here in our own lives, just as it is in the divine realm. It's not talking about waiting for heaven someday, right? It's about creating harmony, balance, and purpose now. Now, why is this important? It's because everything we see in our outer world is a reflection of what's going on inside of us, right? Our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, they're mirrored in our experiences, in our relationships, and even in our health. Right? This principle has been echoed in religious texts, in ancient philosophy, and even in more modern psychology. And today, I want to break down why aligning our inner world with our outer world is essential for a balanced life. Now, the other day I saw this video that really spoke to me, and I might even play it today if I have some time. But it was, you know, on Earth. So the phrase was talking about as within. He was looking at the Star of David, and he said, "As within, so without. As above, so below." Right, and you look at nature, you look at, there's so much in life that is truly about this balance, as above, so below. What is going on in heaven will be reflected of what's going on in your inner being, right? So let's start with the biblical phrase that most of us have heard: thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And what does this really mean? So you can think about it like this. This line is talking about more than just the afterlife or some distant heavenly place. It's talking about the here and now. It's about creating harmony and balance within ourselves so that we can reflect that same harmony in our outer world. Just as in the kingdom of heaven, where everything is aligned, we're called to bring that same alignment to our lives here on earth. Now, here's the thing, like, even if you don't acknowledge heaven, so to speak, right? We're talking about the state of being in which you are constantly orienting yourself towards, to be. That is what we're after, right? We're after heaven on earth, essentially. And our goal in life is to embody that in our minds, in our hearts, the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And the reason why we wish to embody these elements is because we believe we will feel better in the having of whatever we're after, whatever thing we're chasing in life. We believe that it will bring us more joy, it will bring us more love, it will bring us more peace and patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness, right? Now, here's the thing, though. What's really fascinating about it is that when you I used to think about the phrase, on earth as it is in heaven, God, thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven, as though it's like God's will in this heavenly perfect place that, that's filled with milk and honey, right? And streets are paved with gold and all of that. I used to think of it as like this, almost this literal place. And while it is a literal place, it's more of a vibrational place. It's more a place of the spirit, where your spiritual inner being, your higher self, the greater part of you, exists in this realm. And it's more than just seeing heaven as this perfect place. Like, heaven is within you, right? The kingdom of God is within you. That's what Luke 17:21 says, right? And so it suggests that this isn't just some place we go in the afterlife, right? It's a state of being. And so if heaven is within you, what's in your head as above, right? So below. What's going on in your head will be reflected in your body, and what's going on in your body will be reflected in your outer world. And so if you take that really to its most extreme, heaven can also look like hell. This mindset can also look like hell. So if your heavenly space is disrupted, right? If your mind is disrupted, the one thing you have control over, this mind, is disrupted, and you're experiencing negative thoughts, then those negative thoughts will reflect in your body and how you feel, right? So it starts with what you think, then it goes to how you feel, then from how you feel, it goes to how you perceive the world, right? How you perceive the world is completely and totally about how you feel. So what goes on the outside? There are people, for instance, the news that broke last week that the whole world is talking about, right? I don't like to, I'm not even going to say it. So the news that broke last week, there are lots of people who feel very poorly about what they're experiencing. And there are lots of people who feel a great and utter sense of joy about the current circumstance. And the only difference, literally the only difference, is their thought perspective. How everyone feels about the circumstances that transpired last week is completely dependent on how they are thinking about the situation. And if they believe that they are powerless, if you believe that you are powerless, if you believe that the world is racist and the world is out to get you, if you believe that, then you will see it that way. You will feel that way, because that's what you're thinking. And a belief, if you believe that, a belief is a thought that you just continue to think. That's all a belief is. A belief is a thought that you continue to think, and now it has been learned and remembered to the point where you don't even realize that you're thinking the thought. You just believe it. You think that it's you think it so much that you just believe it to be so. And so you believe that you believe something, you're thinking it enough, now it becomes reflected in your inner being, in your spirit, and in your feelings. And so now you're feeling bad, and then when you perceive the world through your eyes that you're feeling bad about the situation, now the world looks bad to you. The world looks chaotic. You're no longer in heaven. And that all was a product of your mind. You create your reality. No one can ever take your thoughts from you. That is the one thing you have control over. And your thoughts create your reality. The kingdom of God is within you. Heaven is not just some place that we go in the afterlife. It's a state of being in which we can experience right now. You have the power to connect with the spiritual fruit of love, of joy, of peace, of patience, of kindness, of goodness, of faithfulness, of gentleness, and self-control. So when we talk about on earth as it is in heaven, we're talking about living in such a way that our thoughts, our emotions, our actions are aligned with our higher purpose, creating our own version of heaven on earth. Okay, so as within, so without. What does this mean? It means that the state of our inner world directly impacts our outer experience. Think about this. If we're constantly stressed or we're anxious, it starts to affect our physical health. It starts to affect our relationships. It starts to affect our careers. Research in psychology shows that chronic stress and negative thinking can lead to a weakened immune system. I've experienced this. I've definitely experienced this. But it also leads to increased risk of diseases. And what does disease mean? Disease, if you break it down, is dis-ease. That means you are taking your body out of ease. And ease is a synonym of peace. So disease is akin to dis-peace. You are taking your body out of peace because you are not well in your mind. You're not well in your thoughts. So negative thinking leads to weakened immune system, increased diseases, risk of diseases, and strained relationships. Because it's hard to have good relationships. It's hard to nurture a relationship if you're always stressed and there's always negative conversation. I know many of us have friends where we always talk about negative things. It's like no matter what, we're always talking about negative stuff. Whatever it is, it's negative. Oh, this happened. That friend that you complain to all the time. And I guarantee that very little good comes out of that, other than your ability to vent. But what it does is just creates and perpetuates the negative circumstances that you're feeling. So then you become addicted to the negative circumstances, and you become addicted to negative thought patterns, negative conversation, which just reinforce negative thinking, which creates negative feelings, which creates negative experiences. So I want to challenge you, if you have a friend that you're always talking crap about, you're not crap about them, but talking crap about your experiences and just venting, oh, my life is terrible and this sucks and this sucks and this sucks. I challenge you to flip that conversation. Flip it for a week. Tell that friend, hey, listen, we're going to speak positively about every situation, no matter what situation, any situation we talk about. Yeah, we can vent to each other, but we're going to speak about the positive aspects of this. If you go through a breakup, you're talking to that friend about a breakup, you're going to be like, wow, well, I'm so grateful that now I'm ready. I have room to find somebody amazing. You just lost your job. Oh, I'm so grateful I don't have to deal with that boss anymore. I'm so grateful that I know my value. I know my worth. This is teaching me my worth. I want to challenge you to, in every single situation that you find yourself in where you're ready to complain, look at the seed of the equally equivalent advantage. Because every single defeat brings with it the seed of an equivalent, if not greater, advantage. So cultivate inner peace and a positive mindset, and you will create a fertile ground for good health, fulfilling relationships, and success. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." In other words, our emotional and mental state is the foundation of our lives. Just like you'd protect the roots of a tree to ensure it grows strong and healthy, you've got to take care of what's inside to experience the growth and health you want on the outside. Nature offers some powerful reminders of this truth. Let's look at trees. A tree's their root systems grow deep into the earth, mirroring its branches above. Now, those roots are hidden, but their source, the source of the tree's stability, nourishment, and growth are the roots. What's below directly supports what's above. Another example is the balance between the ocean's surface and the deep sea. If the deep sea is turbulent, those waves will eventually be felt on the surface. This is nature showing us that what's happening underneath always affects what we see on top. Ancient cultures understood this concept as well. The phrase "as above, so below" comes from Hermetic philosophy, which teaches that what's happening in the heavens mirrors what's happening on earth, and the heavens are within you, not some distant place. The heavens are right here. It's the interconnected balance that holds the universe together. If we can keep our own internal world steady, it reflects positively in our external lives, just like the universe maintains its balance. Now, another thought that I had the other day was that God lacks nothing, right? If you're trying to understand what God is and why God exists, well, God lacks nothing. Or in other words, God lacks limitations, which is the one thing that distinguishes us from God, is our limitation. So the only thing that God lacks is limitation. And we are limited to this present moment. We are limited to this space and time. So we are the balance of God. We are God's balance. Without God, we could not exist. And without us, God could not exist. We are the balance. There's a really beautiful moment in The Matrix where the Oracle offers Neo a piece of candy. And Neo says, "You already know whether or not I'm going to take it, right?" And she's like, "Well, I wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't." And he said, "Well, why does it matter?" She says, "Well, you're not here to decide. You've already decided whether you're going to take it or not. You're not here to decide whether or not you're going to take it. You're here to discover why you made that decision." We are here to discover why. We are here to discover our purpose. Our paths may be determined, and your choices have already been made. But without going through life with the limitation of the present moment, this limited space where we only exist in the present, we do not exist in the future, we do not exist in the past, we exist only in the present. By limiting ourselves to this singular dimension of time, we allow ourselves to make discoveries of why. We allow ourselves to make discoveries of our purpose. And that is the point of life. So beautiful. You're here to discover your purpose. And your only moral obligation is to align your heart with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Or I've recently decided that I kind of like the idea of changing self-control to self-discipline, right? They're two sides of the same coin, but I think when I hear self-discipline, it resonates with me a little bit deeper. Now I want to talk about the Star of David. It's the six-pointed star composed of two overlapping triangles. It's one of the most recognizable symbols in Jewish tradition and carries a rich spiritual meaning. But it also correlates with this idea of as above, so below, as within, so without. Its symbolic depth goes beyond just cultural identity, right? In many interpretations, the Star of David represents the reflective nature of our inner and outer worlds, a concept that resonates with both spiritual and philosophical teachings. Each triangle in the Star of David has its own symbolic direction. One triangle points upward, right? Symbolizing the divine, the higher self, right? And if you think about a triangle pointing upward, the base is where everything exists, right? Everything exists, all people exist and point up into one singular direction, which is God in the heavens. Right? This upward facing triangle represents our inner world, or our thoughts, emotions, our spiritual aspirations coming from where we are in this physical, pointing up to this singular direction. The other triangle points downward, symbolizing the earthly, the material, and the physical realm, right? So God at the top, encompassing everything, almost like a funnel being channeled into a singular individual point. So the Star of David is incredibly powerful as a symbol. When these triangles overlap to form the Star of David, they create a harmonious balance between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, and the inner and outer selves. The spirit embodies the star embodies the concept that what we cultivate within ourselves is reflected in our outer experiences. By aligning our inner values, beliefs, and emotions with our actions, we create a life that resonates with our highest intention. As above, so below, as within, so without. This symbol reflects the principle of as above, so below, as within, so without. It shows that our journey is not just one of reaching upward towards spiritual growth, but also one of grounding that growth in our daily lives. It suggests that to find peace and balance, we must not only strive upward, but also bring our higher intentions down into our physical world, bridging the gap between spirit and matter. So the Star of David reminds us that our inner journey is essential to our outer reality. To achieve harmony and fulfillment in our lives, we must align our intentions and our actions, nurturing both the spiritual and material aspects of ourselves. Just as the triangles interlocked and balance one another, we are called to find balance within, allowing our inner world to shine outward and transform our outer experience. So, how do we actually do this? That's always the question. How do we actually make this happen? How do we bring our inner world into alignment with our outer world? Well, one, mindfulness and self-awareness. Start by becoming aware of what's going on in your inner world. Start paying attention to your thoughts and your emotions. Are they mostly positive, or are they filled with fear and doubt? Mindfulness allows us to catch negative patterns before they affect our actions. And when you are able to observe your negative experience, when you're able to observe your thoughts, you are outside of the program. You are the observer. You are no longer the self that is having the experience. You are now the God, so to speak. You are self-aware. And when you're self-aware, you can then, at the very least, acknowledge that you are in a program. You can acknowledge, hey, whoa, I was just automatically thinking that thought. And it's just because I was programmed to think this way. I didn't choose this thought. I'm sloppy in my thinking. And when you do that, once you become aware of that, then you can start to get more deliberate in your thinking, and you can become a deliberate creator of your reality. Two, embrace gratitude. When we focus on gratitude, we're essentially aligning ourselves with abundance. When we feel grateful for what we already have, you attract more positivity into your life. You have to feel grateful about the circumstances that you're in. You have to feel grateful about the present moment for you to have more. For you to get more of what you want. When you're grateful and generous, right? You're grateful for what you have. That's when abundance shows up, right? And when abundance shows up, you are generous. And so if you can do the things right now, it's like, all right, well, I'm grateful for what I have, and look at the abundance of the things that I do have. Now I can be generous. I can give away. And when I give, more comes to me. But I have to give. I have to be generous. I have to be in the space of abundance, because abundant people are generous. And this is supported by psychology as well, which shows us that gratitude leads to greater well-being and also reduces stress. Number 3, daily affirmations. Reaffirm what you see, what you want to see in your life by using positive affirmations. And it's not just by speaking things aloud, it's by writing things down, which are great, but it's also about what you're consuming. Are you consuming lots of high vibrational content? Are you consuming, especially right before you go to bed and right after you wake up? Are you consuming high vibrational content? Content that is putting you in a space of positive affirmations, positively reaffirming everything you want in your life. I have an app called Mesmerize that I like to listen to right before I go to bed. I try to listen to it as much as possible throughout the day. There's lots of different affirmations on there, there's hypnoses on there, just to put you in a positive mindset. And I stopped watching action movies right before I go to bed. Now, I watch tons of action movies and I love, thrillers and drama. I love to watch that type of content, but I only watch those in the middle of the day, right? I like to partake in that content once I've already fed myself with positivity, right? And so right before I go to bed is not the time to do that. Right before I go to bed is when I'm depleted, right? And that's when I'm most what do you call it? My most receptive, most influenced, most impressionable is right before you go to bed. That's why they play all those infomercials at night, late at night, because they know people are weak-minded late at night, right? So be very deliberate in your affirmations, in your daily affirmations. Spend time in the morning deliberately putting yourself in a place of positivity. Play commercials that are positive. Do the same thing that the commercials do, but with positive YouTube videos or positive sounds, positive vibrations, positive affirmations that play all throughout the night, telling you how abundant you are, how talented you are, how amazing you are. Fill your mind with that. The Bible even encourages us to speak life into our situations. Proverbs 18:21 says the tongue has the power of life and death. There is the life and death in the power of the tongue. Speaking positively about ourselves and our goals aligns our inner state with the outcomes that we desire. Number 4, visualization. Picture your goals and dreams vividly. A lot of people create vision boards. I've discovered a thing called a mind movie, which essentially is a video version of a vision board. You just collect a bunch of images and affirmations that you desire, and then you put those things together in a really cool edited video. You can edit it on Canva, or you can edit it in InShot or CapCut, any of these applications, or iMovie, and just collect a bunch of really beautiful images, the same types of images that you would collect in a vision board and you'd cut out. Some people like the tactile feeling of a vision board. For me personally, I really like the idea of a mind movie, and I watch it every night before I go to bed when I can remember, and I watch it as soon as I wake up when I remember, right? And that's part of my meditation. I made mine. The first one I made was about 5 minutes long, and the one I have now is about 13 minutes long. And it's so powerful for me just to put myself in a state of abundance, in a state of joy, visualizing the life that I desire to experience, and recognizing so much. There's so many positive affirmations. I just collected a bunch of my favorite positive affirmations and I put them all into a video and I just have it play one by one. Super simple. If you don't know how to do it, look it up. Look up how to make a mind movie. I might make a video teaching you how to do this, right? But athletes use visualization to improve performance, and you can use it to create the life you want, right? When you visualize success, you're training your brain to recognize and work towards those positive outcomes. Meditation and prayer, number 5. These practices center around connecting with a higher power, right? When you meditate, you quiet your mind and you allow yourself to download only thoughts from spirit, right? You're no longer thinking actively. You're no longer judging or critiquing. You're in your own mind, your own inner world, which is the only thing you have total control over. And prayer and meditation are synonymous. Meditation, you're quieting your mind, you're talking to source. When you're prayer, you're talking to God, which is source. And when you pray, do not beg. Do not beg when you pray. Okay? Demand of life what you want. Ask and ye shall receive. It is given to you. When you truly ask and say, this is what I desire for my life. Because when you truly ask something, you are 100% willing to do what it takes to receive it, which means you are in the vibrational frequency of reception of whatever it is that you desire. When you truly ask for something, this is what I want. You know, they say luck favors the prepared. There is no such thing as luck. But if there was, it favors the prepared. And a lot of people ask for things that they are not prepared to receive. So life doesn't give it to them, because you have to be in the vibrational frequency of what you want. So when you pray for things, be very deliberate in your prayer. Don't beg, because when you're in the begging state, you're in the state of wanting. And you can't be in the state of wanting and receiving at the same time. All you're going to receive is more wanting. All you're going to receive is more lack, because when you're wanting something, it means you don't have it. And if you don't have it, you're going to you're going to focus on that, and you're going to vibrate on the frequency of not having the thing. And then the universe is going to show you more of that, more of not having it. Here's more of not having it. Oh, I don't have money. I don't have money. I need money. I need money. I don't have money. I don't have money. You're just going to see more of that. Okay, here's more examples of you not having money. But when you start to shift it and be like, oh, I'm so abundant. Money always shows up right on the right time. I always have enough for everything I need. I'm always fed. My belly's always full. I'm always going out to fancy restaurants. I'm always doing everything that I love. I get to travel all the time. Money just always shows up. Money is always there for me. When you start talking like that, yo, that's how the abundance really, really shows up in your life. The Bible says, be still and know that I am God. This stillness allows us to align our thoughts with divine wisdom, bringing peace and guidance. So an example of this, we have Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan used to visualize and see himself making successful shots before each game. He trained his mind to align with his goal. And that mindset showed up in his performance. And for me, I found that when I'm centered and aligned, things just flow. When I'm just good, when I'm feeling good, things just flow. When I'm following my excitement, things just work and flow. And when I'm out of alignment, when I'm filled with doubt, when I'm filled with fear or stress, everything feels so forced. But when I get quiet and I reconnect with my purpose and trust the process, opportunities just come and the doors open. Okay, so I want to bring this home. I I want you to think about one area of your life where things feel off. Maybe it's work, maybe it's a relationship or a health goal. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes and visualize what that area would look like if it were in complete harmony. As above, so below. As within, so without. What would it feel like to experience peace and alignment in that part of your life? What would it feel like? What does it feel like? Because it's already there. You just have to tune to the frequency. That radio station of your life already exists. That show is playing. If you're not seeing it, it's because you have not aligned with the vibrational frequency that is required to experience that thing. So close your eyes and visualize that area of your life and what it would look like if it were in complete harmony. Once you start doing that, you're now seeing what's possible when we align our inner state with our goals. Feel free to share your vision or any questions you have in the comments, and let's hold each other accountable for this journey towards our inner outer alignment. Now, to wrap things up, remember that the phrase "on earth as it is in heaven" is an invitation to create harmony here and now by aligning our inner world with our outer world. It isn't about waiting for some future paradise, whether it's through gratitude, visualization, prayer, or daily affirmations. There are so many ways to bring peace and balance to our lives. So here's my challenge. I've given you guys a lot of challenges this week. But the challenge is start practicing one of these alignment tools this week. Maybe it's a gratitude list each morning or a visualization session before bed. Take the time to nurture your inner world and watch as it transforms your outer reality. Karthikeya says, "Your videos are awesome, bro. I am a fan and I am switching to a vegan diet because of you. Gonna get that 315 bench next year." Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I really appreciate y'all, man. It really is it's beautiful to see y'all getting into your glow, man. Get your glow on. And just like that, we are wrapping up another fantastic session here on Ace Anderson Live. If you, big love and thanks to each and every one of you who joined us live this morning. Your energy and insights light up this community and push us all to level up in every way possible. Now, don't forget, we're here every single week, every Monday morning. I typically do it, unless it's a holiday, I might take off. I'm going to be better about letting y'all know, when it's, when I'm going to be taking off. But we're here to bring that heat to start your week off right. And if today's conversation got you fired up or inspired or just curious to learn more, drop a comment, share this stream, and tell a friend, because word of mouth is the best influencer. Keep Ace Boogie in your thoughts and prayers, and I promise to do the same. Now, follow me on all social media platforms at AceShotThat. And remember, we're on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Snapchat, on all of the platforms that you are online on. So come follow your boy and let's keep the A-team growing strong. And until next time, remember to always align yourself with truth, trust, and patience, and I promise you will ace your life. Peace out, y'all.